Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, approximately 11 a.m. in Honolulu, 5 o'clock in New York City. It is Thursday, the 10th day of May, 2012, and this is the Daily Report for gold and silver. Mixed bag today with consolidation and modestly higher prices in gold. Currently trading up around $3 to $5 as you see on the screen, 1594.10 current print. The low has been 1584 and the high has been 1603. So it has made it on an intraday basis back over 1600, at least on the day. Silver though, that is trading lower today, down 17 cents with a low of 28.87, high 29.58. Current print, as you can see on the screen, 29.07. Traders, yesterday I brought up a possible idea about an alternative wave count, and that was predicated for the most part because, as you can see, we broke through what I consider to be fairly critical support. Now, when I was outlining that yesterday, I did want to clarify a couple of points. In terms of the individual wave count, the 1 through 5 in this section right in here, that wasn't what I was trying to really emphasize. What I was looking to emphasize was the fact that what we might be witnessing is the fact that this correction that we've just had here, although it is a triangle, it is broken down below support, gives us a significant meaning, and in fact it might be acting a little bit different than we originally believed. However, I do want to point out that was just an observation. It's not something that I'm tied into, nor do I adamantly believe at this point, because we have two real possibilities in this market right now. And the first possibility is that as we reach the apex on a typical bull correction, you would have had one more wave up, one more wave down, and then your thrust. We did not get that. In fact, we got a break well below that. If the market continues to trade lower, then we're absolutely witnessing a much larger ABC type correction, and that correction is really predicated not off of these last rallies, but off of this large rally here. And that was a point that I was trying to bring up. It is a possibility. It's certainly not etched in stone, not yet anyways. The second possibility is that there are on many occasions points in which we will be charting a major trend line, a support line in this example, and it breaks below only to recover. And what I'm talking about is if we fix a point from this low here to this low here and we extend it up, what you're going to see is that in fact when the market came down here, it did in fact break below this trend line because we're fixing it off of these two lows, this low here, and this low here. And you can see that without a question of a doubt, it broke below it, just as we have broken below this. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because the second of the two possibilities is that it is a variation, meaning the market will recoup and this longer term trend line will become once again intact. In other words, if we see this market find some sort of safe haven buying, this buying the dip mentality that up to this point we've not seen. But if in fact we see something like that and the market then moves back up and then starts trading above this line and moves back into what we'll call the channel, then we are back in the same territory. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that should the market recoup, should buying come into the market, and there's no evidence that suggests that at this moment, but if that does happen, then I will go back to our original count, which looked at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our final thrust. So that is possible. And the reason that I do want to clarify this, I did get some emails yesterday asking if I think that the market's going to break down. Well, right now it has broken below a critical support level. We're seeing some follow-through selling. We're seeing consolidation in the market today, and that might be simply due to short covering in the market, and we might see this market continue on lower. If, in fact, it falls under pressure, the real significant target areas As we talked about yesterday, this is, of course, major support, 1463, but about 1520, which matches to this low here, would be our first area that we would look for in terms of support if the market continued to sell off. Now, we'll have to see what happens because the situation in the European Union, in my opinion and the opinion of many other economists and many other analysts, is it's falling apart at the seams, so to speak. The fabric that holds that union together, unlike the United States, because this is a recently formed union, the European Union, doesn't have the cohesiveness that is necessary, I believe, to overcome the differences between the member nations within the European Union. You've got some vibrant economies and some really stagnant economies, and how those are all going to blend together, that has been the reason we have seen such a disunion in the European Union. Now, traders, silver is a different matter, in my opinion, at this moment. And my belief is, although gold has a fairly good opportunity to recover at this point, I cannot say I am as bullish on silver as I am on gold. Breaking through this critical support area and the follow-through selling that we've seen is really part and parcel a continuation of this recent sell-off that began really when we saw this high, intraday high of about $37 in silver. You can see it's come from about $37 back down $8 lower. Traders, this is still our daily July silver chart. I've simply added another Fibonacci retracement. I now have two retracements, one from the beginning of the rally, same as in gold, and the second one begins really, call it October 2010. That's when we saw this big clip from 18 up to the test of 50, this tremendous rally we witnessed in silver. What am I looking for? Well, I'm basically looking for what we call Fibonacci harmonics, points at which you get areas that are close to each other. You can see there are harmonics in these two areas. Reason for pointing that out, these are our critical areas of support. We have some secondary ones which we talked about the other day, but silver actually, in my opinion, has the real possibility to retest these lows right in here. We'll have to see how it reacts over the next couple of days and the weeks and months to come, but it's been under pretty strong selling pressure. As long as there are questions about global economy, and this is an industrial metal besides a precious metal, we will see, in my opinion, continued selling pressure in silver. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Friday for the weekly wrap-up. Bye-bye.